I'm pretty sure this guy is drunk out of his mind because he has been talking to this little jar over here for like ever, and that's all he ever talks to. He doesn't look at anybody else. He just eats his chicken wings and then talks to the bottle. It's very strange. Where's she going? I've never seen her get up before. What? Alright, well, this guy's crazy. He really likes to stare at his chicken wings. But anyways, everybody, welcome back to Monster Hunter World. Today, we're going to talk about the canteen and why you should stop using the chef special and start utilizing custom meals because you will be so much happier. So anyways, hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Let's go ahead and get into this. So there are quite a few ingredients in Monster Hunter World, but once you actually start looking into it, making custom meals really isn't that complicated. There's a few basic things that we'll get into in here in just a moment, but when we look at the Chef's Choice platter, you'll see that it looks really good because it's the only meal here that gives you plus 50 health and plus 50 stamina. You get health for your Palico, and then you get a small attack boost up, sometimes a small defense boost up, but you never really get the maximum that you can actually get out of your meals. Now you can go down here, and it doesn't look as good because you don't have as much health, and your Palico doesn't get as much stuff, and then you really don't, a lot of people don't even pay attention to the actual food skills that you're getting from this, let alone the ingredient effects. So you've got a few things here that give you certain different skills, like the meat platter right here gives you Feline Rider, which makes it easier to mount monsters, and then of course you have your daily skills as well. We can actually go up to the custom platter, and you can see all the daily skills that you can get during the day. So right now we can get the sometimes decreases damage taken, increases bowgun damage, but also increases deviation. And then we also got prevent stumbling when jumping down from high places. Now these are nice little bonuses that you can get when making your meals, and they'll randomly show, well, they won't randomly show up, but they will show up in order on the food skills when they're not fully taken up by the actual ingredients. So now, one thing that you need to keep in mind is that the health boost and the stamina boost all can be recovered by eating in the field by either using a max potion, nutrients, or actually just eating some food. You can actually get all of the health and all of the stamina aside from your Palico by just eating something in the field. So there's really no reason just to make the Chef's Choice platter just because you get the plus 50 health and plus 50 stamina. When you're later in the game, you're going to have so many materials that you can just craft some max potions or the nutrients and just eat something in the field to recover all of those stats that you're missing. So really what you want to do is start focusing on some of these food skills that you can get, as well as the ingredient effects, and that's what we're going to get into right now. Now, before we get into some of the custom meals that I recommend using, I gotta go over exactly how you get these skills and the ingredient effects. So when you're under the meat tree here, just on the first one that you pop into, any of these meats, if you stack 6 of them, well, basically every 2 that you put into a meal will give you an attack up. So if you stack 2, you're going to get attack up small, 4 is going to be medium, and then 6 is going to be a large. And now this you get every time, no matter if it's fresh meats or not, or fresh ingredients or not. You'll notice that no matter what we do, as long as you're putting 6 meals or 6 ingredients inside of it, you're always going to get the 50 stamina. So all you're going to have to do when you go into the field is eat something that's going to recover all of the health that you're missing. So this doesn't actually increase your maximum health. So what it does is basically, it makes it so you don't have to eat anything when you go into the field to rejuvenate that health, but I would much rather have the attack up large and also being able to get our food skills. Now this goes for defense or elemental resistances as well, so we can actually just go ahead and cancel this selection. You'll see that we go in. If we want defense, then we're just going to go ahead and go over to the fish, and if you want a large defense build, you're going to go ahead and stack 6 fish in here and you'll get that. Or you could go ahead and just get a medium defense build here. And then if you're fighting something where you want elemental resistances, you're going to go ahead and put some vegetables in here. And there we go. And now we've got defense medium and elemental resistance. So right now we're just going over the ingredient effects. We'll get into the skills in just a moment. But you'll notice here that we put in one fresh ingredient, and that's how we got our health to increase. Now, you don't really need your health to increase because, as I said before, there's multiple different ways to do that in the field. It's not something that I'm ever really concerned about, but the reason you want to be concerned with the fresh ingredients is because having fresh ingredients will increase the activation chance for your food skills. If you're going for something specifically for skills, a lot of the times I'm just going for the status effects because those I'm going to get every single time, and then the food skills are just a little bit of a bonus if I can manage to make it into the custom meal. Now you're probably asking, what does beer add to your status effects? Now the unfortunate thing about beer is it does not add any ingredient effects, so there is no absolute increase to your stats when you're using any beer stuff, but you can get some pretty cool skills when actually using this. Now the one I like to use, and which I'm using a lot now versus anything else, is actually all of these here, which you can actually, when you stack 6 of them, get Lucky Cat, which sometimes increases the number of reward items received at the end of a quest. Now this can come in really handy when you're farming for gems or any of those rare materials that you're out in the field trying to get, and this will proc quite often, even with a low activation chance. Every time I've used this, I've had a 0% activation chance, and I've gotten it pretty much every single time but one. Now you can also see some other really cool skills in here, which you can put into any build that you want, or not build, but custom meal. This one reduces the time between gathering point respawns. Not so great, but this one's pretty good if you're farming up money. Increase the amount of Zenny you receive at the end of a quest. That is pretty good. You only have to stack 4 of these for that. For the other one, you've got some skill info here. Prevents knockbacks while carving. That can be really handy if you're playing against douchebags, or with douchebags, but it's really against. Increases the number of research points you receive at the end of the quest. And then Feline Carver often increases the number of times you can carve, which, if you're farming for gems or any of the other carving specific materials, can come in very, very handy. Now these skills and ingredient effects are the reason I highly recommend making your own custom meals instead of just going ahead and using whatever the custom chef's choice platter is of the day, because as you can see here, he is using all fresh ingredients, but it's the only real benefit is the plus health so that we don't have to eat in the field. But sometimes the skills you can get out of here are really good and the activation chance is very high, but that does not mean it's an automatic thing that you're going to get. Even if you do have all fresh ingredients, you're not guaranteed to get all of the food skills. But here, this is actually pretty good. We've got Feline Polisher, often speeds up sharpening time. And then this one here, Feline Sharpshooter, increases the number, or increases the power of normal shots and normal arrows. But this can be hit or miss. You never really know what you're going to get. Obviously, if it's something that's good all the way across the board, you might as well do it. But a lot of times you can make a much better platter by just going into here. Now, if you're looking for just pure attack, we can go ahead and just put that in there for the fresh meal. And then say we want Feline Polisher for increasing our sharpening time. And then another really good one here is to put in these, which is Vigor. So we can either go for greatly extends the invulnerability period when getting up, or we can go for the Black Belt, which reduces stamina depletion when evading, which is what I usually like to try and go for. Now, if we're happy with the attack up, we can see if maybe there is some more of the Vigor stuff, because the Vigor does go all the way across up until the beer. So if you really want to try for ingredients and don't really care about getting more ingredient effects, you can go ahead and just look for more fresh stuff here. But really, we're just going to go ahead and go for the large attack boost, and we're going to see if we can actually get all of the food skills as well as the large attack boost just by doing this. We're going to go ahead and confirm that and see what happens. And there we go. So we got the large attack up and we got Feline Black Belt, which is arguably much better than the actual speed sharpening, because that way now we're going to be using less stamina and we're using dual blades right now. So that's going to be very beneficial, as well as the large attack. Alright, so now that we're in the field, I just wanted to go ahead and show you that even though it shows that we only have 110 health and we got the 150 stamina, it also boosted our attack into the 294 range, which is pretty good. But we want more health, so we can just go ahead and eat a max potion here real quick. And you'll see that our health can get all the way up to that 150 maximum, so it's not something you really have to worry about as long as you have max potions or the nutrients to go ahead and increase your health. I just wanted to go ahead and show the difference between the large attack and the small attack. You'll see that we have 273 right now. With the large boost, we were at 294, which was a 21 attack increase. We'll go ahead and pay with money. We'll do the Chef's Choice Platter, which gives us the attack of small. Sometimes it'll be medium. Most of the time it's small because it's just mixing so many different ingredients. We have a chance for Polisher, Riser, or Carver, or all three of them rather. So we'll go ahead and make this and see what happens to our attack. I think when you get 3 or all fresh ingredients, you do have a 100% chance to get all 3 skills. I realized I misspoke earlier, but right now we got a 280 attack, so we got 7 increased attack versus the 21 we get from the large. So it's probably about 7 attack for each tier of attack. Now, personally, I would much rather have the higher attack, defense, or elemental resistance than quite possibly a couple food skills that I'm not really going to use anyways. Now, there's another thing that you need to pay attention to when you're actually getting food skills, is that there might be some daily skills you don't want, like this one. This is one of the daily skills today, which is Feline Provoker. Draws monsters' attention and increases the likelihood of being targeted. You might not want this. You might want to go ahead and just make a meal with maybe defense up, because it's on the last one, so it's always gonna be something that's possible to get. So you can actually stack 4 different types of skills if you so desire. We'll go into some of the skills I recommend getting, but I always recommend this one for melee, for the speed polishing chance. And then we can go ahead and maybe just stack 2 here so you can see that you can actually get rid of the daily skills completely if you don't want to deal with the Feline Provoker or something like that. So that might be something you want to keep an eye on. There we go. Now we got rid of the Provoker. Just in case that's not something you want, it might be something you do want though. Sorry about that. So you've got the Paralysis, Sleep, Stun, Poison, Bleeding, Blast Bite, and Effluvium buildup. The ones you're going to be focusing on is obviously the Poison, Stun, Paralysis, or Sleep. So this is going to help any of those builds. And then you get the added chance of either of the second or the daily skills. You can get all 3, or you can maybe just get 1 or 2, or, you know, it's completely random. But that's one I definitely recommend if you're running out of a normal status build. And then here we've got the Feline Sharpshooter, which increases the power of normal shots and normal arrows. So anybody using one of the bows or light bow guns, you're gonna love this. You've also got the Feline Black Belt, which reduces stamina depletion. And then unfortunately we've got Provoker on here, but that's, you know, that's a daily skill. There's really no way to avoid it. You can actually go ahead and change this. Well, actually, you can't change it because we are stacking a couple, or all 6 of our food goes to that one, so we can't get rid of the 3rd skill. And then obviously, I highly recommend actually using, once you unlock all the beer, you'll unlock a new meal down here called the Lucky Liquor Platter, which will give you that Lucky Cat. Sometimes increases the number of reward items received at the end of a quest, which is very good. Now there is one other very, very good bonus, vouchers. So when you use a voucher, it allows you to be able to eat a meal that guarantees any of the skills that you want. When you use a voucher, it doesn't matter if you have fresh ingredients as far as the skill activation chance. So this is absolutely amazing. So here is when I like to actually make sure to use the Hunter's Brew if I need it. I'll use it for use it with a voucher. Now you can get vouchers from doing the arena, so I highly recommend doing the arena to get vouchers, so that way you can unlock any skills that you want as well as the ingredient effects, and you can always boost your health while you're in the field. So this one is really good when you're going for something very specific, like if you're running the Feline Specialist, where you want the 6 Acumen things to increase your potency of normal status attacks, or if you're trying to get a good stack of 3 different things, you can go ahead and use a voucher, and you will get all of the skills. So I went ahead and made my go-to ingredients list, which is for the large attack boost, and then going ahead and going for the Feline Polisher, which often speeds up sharpening time. And then we've got the Feline Black Belt, which reduces stamina depletion when evading, blocking, or whatever. And you'll see that with the voucher, we've got a 100% activation chance, even with only having 1 fresh ingredient. We've got the plus 10 health, but as I said before, we can go ahead and maximize that with a max potion. And we'll go ahead and confirm this. Order the meal. And wham bam, thank you ma'am. We have all of the food skills that we wanted activated. So, I hope this little tutorial helped you all out. I highly recommend making a couple custom platters that you can go ahead and choose from when you so desire, and it's really going to help improve your damage, defense, or elemental statuses if you start making your own meals, and then you can also target them for some food skills if you so desire. But anyways, that is all I've got for the episode. If you guys have any fun or interesting food combinations, please let me know and the viewers know in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!